There comes a moment in the life of every ambitious man where he feels like he's had enough with his current reality. He wants to change. He wants to transform. He wants to change his current reality. But his friends, his family, his co-workers, the people around him don't really support his ideas or his aspirations. They tell him that they are too advanced. They tell him that they're too difficult, that he should do something safer, that he should do something with less risk and go the more conventional route. Now the reality is, when most men hear this, they listen. They allow the outside voices of people that they think care about them to sway their action. And they actually end up giving up on their dreams and going for the safer and more conventional route. But there are some men who decide to go a different way. There are some men who decide, you know what, if I don't change now, I never will. If I don't take bold action now and completely turn things around, I'm going to regret it in the future. And they just start. Now these are the men that reach their ambition. These are the men that hit their objectives, because they understand the importance of taking action, even when the people around you don't stand by your side. Because the reality is, friends, family, close ones, they care about you. They do. More than not. There's going to be some people that maybe slip through the cracks and they don't have your best intentions at heart. But more than not, they care about you. And when they hear you talk about your ambitions and they hear you talking about doing something different to what you've ever done previously, they get worried. And in a lot of instances, their concern is misplaced because of their lack of understanding about whatever it is that you are doing. You don't want somebody who's not educated on the particular thing that you are doing to talk you out of it. Your idea might be fantastic. Your idea might be revolutionary. It literally might change the world if you enact on it. But if you listen to irrelevant people, and sometimes family can be that, especially when you're thinking about your 60-year-old mother or your 65-year-old father who have no idea about technology, and you're looking to start your own technology business or your software as a service business. They might have reservations that are smart and suggestions, but in terms of the practicalities, they're not really going to be able to help you too much. So you shouldn't really be listening to their objections on the tech-specific stuff. It's not to say don't take advice. You should take advice. And you should take advice from relevant people. If there's somebody who's done what you're looking to do, go and ask them. Be able to take criticism, but at the early stages, the problem that a lot of guys face is that they share their plans and ambitions. They've not got the ball rolling yet, and they get knocked down. They get destroyed and disintegrated because they can't handle all the objections because they've not got up and going yet. They've not built any evidence that what they are trying to do or wanting to do works. So with the first couple of objections, when their family members say, oh, that's not a good idea, what about this? What about this? What about this? They have no rebuttal. And this is where a lot of dreams die. So a practical step, gentlemen, is look, this year, 2026, don't be sharing your ambitions too much. At least not with people that are not relevant. At least not with people that can help. Don't be talking about your plans before you have started. You know, if you're sick of your current reality and you're fed up of the man that you are, and you want to become the best version of yourself, one of the best ways that you can protect yourself from yourself is by keeping your lips sealed about your ambitions. You don't need to tell everybody. Not everybody has a right to know what you are doing all the time and the specifics of your ambition. Now, I've spoken about this before. You don't want to be this guy who's just lurking in the shadows, being weird and being overly secretive about the ins and outs of his day. But you don't owe everybody an explanation as to your ambition, as to what you are doing, what you are looking to build. Only those that you can really trust, and preferably only those who are going to actually aid the process. And I think a lot of dreams die when guys put their ideas in the open for everyone to criticize before they've even started building the foundations of those ideas. By keeping things to yourself, you give yourself an opportunity to start building some momentum. The guy who works in silence doesn't have to contend with outside interference, not half as much as the guy who talks about his plans. Make this year the year that you no longer talk, that you no longer overpromise and underdeliver. Make this the year that you build something, and build something silently. Allow your work to do the talking for you. Because last year, you wanted this year to be the year, and it wasn't. And if you carry on doing the same things, this next year isn't going to be the year that you wanted it to be. Go ghost mode for a little while. Lock in for 6 months. Disappear. Drop off the socials for a while. I'm not saying delete them. I'm saying don't be posting too much. I'm saying don't be telling everybody what you're up to. Don't be announcing all of your plans to the world. Disappear for 6 months. Lock in and come back with results. People respect a guy who quietly hustles. People respect a guy who disappears and comes back 6 months later with the results. They'll say to themselves, wow, he's achieved that in 6 months. I need to sort my shit out. I need to lock in. I need to do what he did. I need to speak to him and get his advice. But a man who talks so brazenly and loudly about his plans and ambitions and ideas can't experience that, because everybody knows his next step. Everybody knows where he is all the time, what he's doing, who he's spending his time with, the book he's reading, the podcast that he's listening to. You don't need to be sharing this stuff. This next year wants to be a year of silent work. Silent work to become the man that you wanted to become this last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. The right moment isn't coming. The right moment isn't coming. There is no right moment. There's only now. And if you don't get the grasp of that, if you don't understand that, you run the risk of one day looking back, feeling like you lost so much time, feeling like there were so many things that you wanted to do and wanted to achieve and wanted to tick off the list that you know you'll never be able to do. You'll know that they're too far gone. Don't allow that to be your reality. We talk about it now, but it's painful. It's really painful, and that is a reality. That there are millions of men that are contending with that right now. Genuinely imagine that. You know, they're sat on the front porch right now, swinging in that chair, looking out into the distance, thinking about what they could have been. You still have time. If you're a young guy, you have bags of time. And it's criminal to allow yourself knowingly, with all the information that you have, to waste your potential. So use your time wisely. I say you have time. If things go well, you have time. But if you want to put a bit of urgency on yourself, and you don't want to fall into that comfort state of thinking you have too much time, because on one hand you have time, on the other hand you don't. You don't know when your life's going to come to an end. I'm a young guy myself, but tomorrow's not guaranteed. And, you can go too far on the flip side, and you can start falling into the trap of believing, I'm young, I've got so much time. But if you don't put that pressure on yourself like that, you can be 50. And you can just find you wasted your earlier years drifting. Now I really believe that, even the old guy on the front porch can turn things around in the last years of his life. He can never undo all the decisions that he made, but he can pick up a hobby that makes him happy, that fulfills him. Maybe he starts painting. Maybe that's something that he got the most enjoyment out of. Maybe that was the most enjoyable thing of his life. I do always believe, I know there's a mix of different people that watch this channel. I know I've got some young guys, I've got some middle-aged guys, I've got some older guys that watch the channel. I don't want to be spreading the message that it's never too late to change things. You can always change things, as long as you're breathing, as long as you're still kicking around. But there are some things that the older guys that watch this channel will attest to that you cannot change, that you cannot take back. You only get your youth once. There are only certain experiences in life that you can get within a certain time frame. And it's important for you younger guys to, yes, understand that you do have time, unless you don't, but not to take that time for granted. If things go well, if things go as expected, you've got a long life. But don't waste these early years. So this year, decide to be different. Decide to do the things that you say you're going to do. If you have some resolutions, I don't personally believe in them, but if you have some resolutions, make sure you stick to them. Don't be setting them, especially publicly. And if you've already done it, then you damn better make sure you do it. You better make sure you stick to it. Because a man who doesn't stick to his word can't honestly be trusted. Become a man whose actions and words align. Become a man who is consistent. You're not always going to hit the mark or hit the nail on the head. You're not always going to be perfect. But more than not, 9 times out of 10, be a man who does the things that he says he's going to do. And even better, don't make promises to other people, but make promises to yourself. This is a year to transform. This is a year to work in silence and be a man of your word and come out into 2027 or 2028, whenever you're watching this. I don't know, maybe years on you're watching this video. The time frame doesn't matter. But come out of this next year the man that you said you were going to be coming out of the year. Otherwise, we're just repeating the same cycle over and over and over. And if you want the life that you say you want so badly, you simply cannot afford to be wasting this time. Anyway, guys, if you took some value from this video, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel for more from me, comment your thoughts down below. If you want to support the channel and the videos that I make, there's a join option available to the channel. There's a bunch of perks that you get with being a member, and it also helps me to keep doing what I'm doing. So consider that if you're interested. Also, there is a free men's Discord community linked down below in the description of all my videos. There's about 45 guys in there right now making great progress both personally and professionally. And it's a place where you can share your wins. You can also share your losses and get some support from the guys. And there's different options in there to keep yourself accountable on your journey. You know, if you haven't got close friends or family that you can depend on for accountability partners in this community, there's going to be some guys that will help you in that regard. Anyway, guys, thank you for your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one.